Good evening, everyone. My name's Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Wednesday, December the 4th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary video brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. If you have not been to the website yet, go check it out. There's a lot of informative information on the site. At the same time, you're more than welcome to find our videos on our website as well, aside from the YouTube channel, My Wall Street TV, which I highly recommend you guys subscribe to, like the video, share the videos. Pretty accurate, good analysis there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the markets here to see how they close. The Dow Jones closed down close to 25 points. The Nasdaq closed up close to 1 point, and the S&P 500 closed down 2.25. So pretty much flat across the market. We did get a nice little bounce in the general markets after the heavy selling that came in like around 130 or so. So nice bounce off the lows today. Looking at the breadth of the market, we had about 3,735 issues declining on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and the AMEX. We had about 2,572 issues advancing on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and the AMEX. So therefore, breadth you can see was in favor of the bears today. Again, we had that heavy selling pressure that came into the markets around 10:55 once we failed for the second time to try to break above the previous day's high on the SPY, which was 180.39. They started selling the market pretty heavy starting around like 11 o'clock, and then the real momentum came in around 1 o'clock when we took out that pivot low. Let's go ahead and take a look at the daily chart of the SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF. You can see, again, it's pretty much down flat, down 2 cents. Got a nice little bounce off the 20-day simple moving average right there, exponential moving average area. You can see how we flashed below the 20, but then we closed right above it as they bought it right back up. So this could in fact be a nice little pullback buy. Again, they bought it off the 20-day moving average back here, right here, and so far they bought it against that 20-day moving average a bit today. But again, the level that you want to watch for if we do pull back some more will be right here, 177.55. They bought us right in front of 178. Again, they did not buy us at 177.55, so they may want to take it down to that price. We break below that, then you want to watch a 176. We take out today's highs, and we could be looking at this 181 level, right? Looking at the S&P 500, the ES, you can see here same thing here. We bounce off the 20, flash below it, and on the ES, that level is 1787, call it. Today's high, 1800. We take out 1800, look for a move back up towards these 1810s in the short term here. Let's look at the, one more thing here. I want to note the volume. Notice how the volume, if you guys, anytime you see volume spikes in your charts and you can recognize some type of pattern in the volume or some type of trend line, I highly recommend you draw the trend line on the volume. Definitely kind of gives you a time where you can expect volume to pick up as you get closer to that little apex of the triangle, and that volume spikes up. That volume starts to decline. You're expecting that volume to pick up close to the apex, and that kind of gives you an idea when to get in for that momentum move. And works pretty good on a lot of intraday action, of course, because it's the intraday, but it does work as well on the daily. Anyways, back here to the triple Qs, the Nasdaq 100 ETF was 8 cents today. Again, strong index. It's at a good location. If the markets do get a bounce to make new highs, make a new year highs right here above 86. Nice little pullback. It's right close to its base that it broke out of. So you still definitely want to be focusing on these technology stocks. Take a look at the IWM, the Russell 2000, down 30 cents a day. Again, this one as well got a nice little bounce off of the 20-day simple and exponential moving average, and we held that key trend line that we've been discussing about the 50% line of this big channel that we have right here. We're at the 50% trend line, and we like to gauge it above bullish, below bearish, above that 50 bullish, below the 50 bearish. It works, folks. You can definitely use it as a gauge. So on the IWM, we want to watch today's lows. Of course, this is the Russell 2000 index here. Small caps below today's lows of 110.34. We could see down here towards 109.30, or better yet, we could see this 50-day moving average, which is around, which is around 109.32. We take out today's highs of 112.42. We could see it move back up towards, I would say, 113. Looking at the DIA, which is the Dow Jones ETF here, down 23 cents today. It's right at that back test area from the breakout that we had, this upper resistance. We broke out. We're at the back test. If we can hold this 158 on the DIA, we can maybe look at purchasing some of these stocks in the Dow that have pulled back to decent support levels or breakout levels that we could look to buy them against and put a stop underneath those pivot lows. But Dow Jones looks pretty good. Got a nice little bounce in gold. I want to make sure I touch base on this here in the beginning of the video because we did get a nice little bounce up $22 in gold. And if you ask me, looks like a lot of people on the Twitter stream on Monday were saying they were going short gold with a stop versus Monday's highs. And guess what? Gold's coming right back up to stop everybody out that tried to get short for a swing trade. The day trade worked out well, but if you try to short gold with it for a swing trade off of Monday's weakness, they're most likely going to stop you out if you're working to stop above Monday's highs. All right, which they almost did today, and then maybe if gold does try to get a bounce and you're short and you're working to stop above the 20-day moving average around 1259 or so, they look like they may be coming for those people as well. So keep an eye on gold. Again, it broke down below the little bear flag range right here, but then we popped right back above it. So anybody short below that bear flag range, this could be a possible bull trap, shaking some weak or shake out some weak players that were buying gold right here in this little base support, or you could say to trap some shorts that were looking to get short the breakdown. That looks like they want to wash them out. So keep an eye on gold. I like it if you can get back above this 1255 level and hold a nice bid. All right, and if that happens, we want to go back and start looking at some of these gold miners, the GDX. All right, we've been talking about the gold miners, watching the sector for a bounce for the past couple videos. They've been, grinding lower, but we're still looking for a bounce in those names. Now I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter start to talk about the gold miners as well, so I definitely want to keep an eye on these names. Again, it's not a gold miner, but one of the stocks I like in this sector is a silver miner. Is PAAS. It's up 5% today. Great chart. If you take a look at the monthly, it's sitting right on top of long-term resistance, which of course is down support down here at 10. I do not think it will go below 10, or I do not think it will go below 890. So I'm actually looking to purchase some of these shares, and they pay a nice dividend. And if you think that a lot of institutions are going to start delving their way back into some of these names, this will be a good candidate because it does pay a 12-cent quarterly dividend, which of course is pretty good, not bad. All right, so what else do I want to take a look at? We look at the miners. Let's go and take a look at crude oil. Again, we're going to be talking about some stocks here shortly. Just want to take a look at the broad markets first before we see what's going on in the individual equity names. Crude oil hit our target today. Actually hit a high at 97.58. We still think it's going to see that 98 level. Still some decent action, decent volume, decent fall through. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive up days, and it still looks like it could get more potential to the top side. Again, and you can see it broke this little downtrend line right here. And again, folks, this has been something that we've been saying. We're going to be looking for a bounce for crude oil in this area. All right, if I zoom the chart back out here, you can see this was a good buy zone from back down here at these prices. All right, so they bought it right back up. Anybody that was looking to get short crude oil, the same thing they did with gold, folks. Look at this big down move, sideways action. We got the breakdown, got a lot of people excited thinking crude oil is going to break below 92, and then guess what? They shook in those shorts, and now it's showing some strength, and now there's buyers in the names. We've got to watch out to see if they do the same thing in gold. Let's go ahead and take a look at copper. Let's see what copper did today since all the commodities were positive. Pretty nice. Copper up 2% today. Really not going to get excited about copper until it starts trading above this big range it's been trading in since April. When it gets above 340, then we can start getting excited in copper and say, hey, is the global economy really growing? That's why this copper is going up. But in the meantime, it's just chopping around this little big range. All right, so let's take a look at some currencies real quick. Then we'll start taking a look at some individual names. U.S. dollar had the beige book come out today, and this U.S. dollar did not sell off. So that's, I guess you could say that's all right. But if it does break below this 80 half level, we are expecting another leg down in the U.S. dollar and possibly back here towards 79.20. And that's why it's looking like it's forming a little descending triangle here, lower highs, matching lows. If it breaks these matching lows, we should see another break and then move back down. I would say first down towards 79.80, 79.80, excuse me, and that's why they're possibly buying some of these basic material stocks and some of these energy stocks again to play that weak dollar, strong material stocks are pretty much strong physical assets, precious metals, and such. Um, so keep an eye on the U.S. dollar. Let's see, do we have any news out that could cause that dollar to sell off? We have GDP coming out tomorrow. That's going to be a big mover. 8:30. Jobless claims 8:30. So if the dollar is going to crack down, it's most likely going to happen tomorrow when that news comes out, or Friday. We have employment numbers on Friday at 8:30. So a big week for news. Definitely want to be on your P's and Q's this week, folks. A lot of news that's still left to come out. The Euro chart action looks pretty decent. Again, they move off the lows off this 133 half level. They bought the dip, it's rallied up, and now it's trading sideways. If the dollar breaks down, this euro is going to pop up, and we should see a move back up towards 137 half or so. Keep an eye on that. So now, let's go ahead and talk about individual equity names. I want to start off with Apple, since Apple, of course, has been a decent stock for the past couple of days. A lot of traders are watching this name, or have been watching this name. A little pause day to day, still looking pretty decent above its fast moving averages. Um, Again, if you're not in this position, or if you have not been in this position for the past 3 or 4 days, I would not look to get into this position right now, as it is extended from the breakout that it had when it broke out this range all the way down here. Okay, Amazon. All right, Microsoft. Some nice action today. Microsoft. Hold on 1 second. So Amazon. Um, what did this stock do today? Up $1.30. Nice little bounce off that 8 EMA. Still looks pretty decent. Nice uptrending stock. Continue to buy the dips in that name until it doesn't work. Looks good. Microsoft, another strong stock in the technology space. And the Nasdaq, nice wide range bar today. Look for this name to have some follow through. Look for a breakout. Excuse me, sorry about that. Look for a breakout above 39. Definitely could get a nice little whole number pop. It's actually trading. Guess what, guys? Microsoft is actually trading above the 2001 high of 38. So this thing could definitely start catching some momentum here. Next level of resistance is until like around 42, and that would most likely be the next target. So Microsoft, strong stock, folks. HPQ, Hewlett Packard. All right, nice little breakout. Today, however, was not able to hold its gains, and it came back and pulled in a little bit. Keep an eye on it tomorrow if it holds. If it does shake below today's lows and tries to fill a little bit of this gap action here, then pulls right back above the 28 level, that could be a good buying opportunity tomorrow. So keep an eye on that name there. So we still had some more. We had some more pullback action in the healthcare stocks and that biotech space. Seen some decent action again in the gold miners. Newmont Mining up 2% today. Steel names that were strong yesterday, they had some fall through action. CLF, NUE. One stock that I mentioned on Twitter or Stock Twits. If you're not following us on Stock Twits, you can do so at My Wall Street TV. My Wall Street TV is the stock is CF. You can see it just broke out of this big resistance over here at 220. I'm pretty sure this move was news related. I haven't checked the news yet. I think it got upgraded, but either way, the stock had a nice little tightening pattern on it here, and you should be looking for this name for some fall through action. Take a look at the 15-minute chart. It had a nice little bull flag that formed today, and it tried to break out. And we also call this one for a little quick intraday scalp for $1 down here at 236.85, and we clipped it down here at 237. Was it 236.85? Sorry. We got involved in this name right around here. Sorry, around 235.85, and we were able to clip out of most of it around 236.85, somewhere in this area right here. But no, this decent trade. You can see it's forming a bull flag, up move, sideways action. They try to start. Pretty much they started buying it in the last 30, 45 minutes of the day. So definitely a name you want to keep on your radar. If this stock is going to get some fall through, which it looks, of course, like it wants to, heavy volume down there. Look at the volume spike down there, guys. We haven't seen that volume spike since this one over here, just about. But if the stock's going to get some fall through, you definitely want to keep an eye on some of the other names in the sector. Potash, POT up 1.25% today. Looks pretty good. You have Monsanto, um, which has been a leader in the group. You can just tell by looking at the chart. You have Mosaic, which I believe has not been performing that well. You can see it's still trying to recover from its earnings that it came out with when it gapped down. Big gap down day here. I'm pretty sure it had to do with some news that came out after they came out with their earnings. Or I believe this had to do with the big drop they had when they had that big potash supplier came out and said they were lowering prices for the market. Either way, a lot of these stocks got hit pretty hard. Back here in July regarding some news from a big distributor of potash. I would have to look back at the reports, but um, again, Mosaic, Potash. The names that I like the best, POT, nice chart. CF, of course, which is more expensive. POT is just a regular name that a lot of guys trade, so therefore it could get a nice little bounce. IPI a little bit lower priced potash stock. All right, but potash, I like the range that it's developing because you could manage your risk off of it pretty nice. Nice gap fill all the way up here to 37. It's been trading in the range for the past, let's see, it's been trading in a range since back here in September, right on top of, guess what, prior resistance, now support. It's been holding at that $31 level has been holding as support for quite a while now. And now it looks like it wants to start making its way back up towards the top of the range and possibly break out. So keep an eye on potash. Again, if CF breaks out, you want to focus on, well, it broke out today, but if CF continues to get stronger, all right, then you want to focus on the names that a lot of people trade when they're looking to get involved in these agriculture stocks. And again, that's Potash, Mosaic, Monsanto, CF, IPI. Let's see, the financials held up pretty well today. JP Morgan up 0.5%, Bank of America up 0.5%. So it held up pretty well today. These stocks got bought up on the dip today, which we pretty much expected because this is a strong sector. And whenever you have a gap down, all right, strong stocks or strong sectors get bought. Whenever you have a gap up, weak stocks that are gapping up just because the market overall gapped up, those stocks get faded, or you can say they get shorted right back down to the gap filled most of the time. Just keep that in mind for some of you guys that don't know that out there. But JP Morgan, strong. I like the name. They're buying the dips. Bank of America looks pretty decent. They're buying the names there. And let's see, last but not least, Goldman Sachs has been trading this nice little upward sloping channel. Again, target is still the top of the channel. It did not touch it right here. It came close to it. So it could still, make its way up there. Then, of course, if it was to break out of this range, this thing will really be on a tear. And who knows? Could that happen going into next year, 2014, at the end of this year? Could they start, really putting a quarterly last minute buy on some of these names and kind of breaking them out of their little space they've been trading in or channels or ranges? We'll see. Or is it going to be profit taking going on to the end of at the end of the quarter here, and people are going to look to be taking profits as the stock market is up over 20%, right? Maybe a little bit less than that now since we pulled back a bit or not. I would have to see. But banks are looking pretty good. Let's going to take a look at some of these momentum names or these high flyers that a lot of people are watching. Netflix, again, this has been a grinder. Looks like it broke over yesterday's highs and pulled back in a bit. May sell off a little bit tomorrow. Again, this is a grinder, so it may look like it want to sell off today, then they'll bounce it right back up tomorrow. Be careful with that name. Little upward channel we have developing on this name here. And now you can say it retraced, I would say about 75 into the 75% um, range, upper range of the big sell candle they had from the Netflix had from the earnings. Gap up that faded pretty bad there. All right. So if we were to put some Fibonacci's on this from the high to the low, you can see it stopped right at the 61.8% retracement. If you guys know about Fibonacci's, you know that the 61.8% retracement is the last level you want to see hold if you expect the stock to move back down. Because if it starts holding above the 61.8, you can expect it to go back up to the 100. You can see how Netflix is having trouble trying to get consecutive closes above that level. So definitely going to be on our radar tomorrow for a possible short. That's We'll see how that plays out. A little topping tail off of today's candlestick action there. Triple D, strong name. We like the 3D printing companies. They've been doing pretty well. Triple D, again, nice up move, pull back. They bought the dip. It's going to continue going up and break over 81.17. We'll have to wait and see. Again, a lot of guys are talking on TV about this name here and about their products and how 3D printing is the future. At the same time, they have high PE ratios, and if any little news comes out on these companies, they could, overnight these things could dump down 5, 10% even. So be careful with these names. Triple D, SSYS, I believe the other one is. Triple D looks like it wants to go to 81.17, 80, 82.50, or better it back towards the highs, I should just say. SSYS, I believe the other 3D printing stock is, and this one we mentioned in the video on Monday, and it triggered a buy over 120 that happened yesterday. A little fall through action today. We'll keep an eye on this if it breaks over 125. What else here? DE looks like this stock performed pretty well today, up over 3%. Whoa, must have been some news in this sector, in this space as well. Again, I'm not sure if news came out for the agriculture space, but it looks like it did. DE, John Deere, even had a nice little pop today here. So again, over 85.11, holding above 85. I like the name. Definitely want to keep an eye on it. Again, it's been trading this range between 85 and 81 since back here in June. So if you hold above that 85, this thing may start working its way back up towards. We have a nice little gap fill up here towards 90, 92, a big gap right here. So again, we'll keep an eye on this name going forward in the coming days to see how it trades and see if it gives us a nice little setup. Tesla, TSLA. Alright, the stock was weak today, down $5.75, down 4%, so it did not trade with the market. The market was strong today. The stock traded weak, so it showed a little bit of what we call relative weakness. But if it does trigger a over 145, it should give you a nice little buy. It was just a pause day off of yesterday's big up move it had off the report that from the German review regarding the car, that the fires did not start from a technical issue with the car, but from, I believe, like collisions or something like that, they were saying. Either way, the stock, of course, yesterday got a crazy bounce off that move of the day. It pulled back a little bit. See, let's go ahead and take a look at Google. Some other big names we always want to make sure we focus on and see how they're trading. Google, decent day here, up $4 today, up 0.5%, held in there pretty well. Really can't be worried about Google selling off until it breaks below 1040. And you want to really play the direction of the trend, especially since this is a leader stock, and the tech space is strong. All right, IBM, weak yesterday. Let's see what it did today. Down 34 cents today. All right, looks like they sold that rally that it had into that declining 5-day moving average. Looks like it wants to come back down to check these lows down here around 172.62. And that's about it, folks. Wrapping it up here. Again, hope you guys had a great day. Wait a second, can't leave the video without talking about Yahoo, which was a stellar performer in the tech sector, up 4.25%. Big move here, wide range bar. Again, it broke out this little downward bullish channel and still should have some momentum. And this move right here came all the way from 27 to 35. So we're talking what, 5, we're talking $8, and when it broke out right here, it could go up $8. So the 8 plus 33 should take it up to what, 40, 41. That's our target on Yahoo, 41, based off the measured move of this little bull flag on the daily, or bull channel flag, however you want to call it. That's about it, folks. Catch you guys bright and early in the room tomorrow. MyWallStreetTV.com to log into our live intraday chat room. We have great traders calling out trades. Contact me at ccooper@wallstreettrading.com, or contact via the homepage, or sign up for the trial using the form on the homepage. Have a great night, folks. Cheers.